Ocala.
5 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. My greatest experience in my whole life is being a father. I was not alone in that feeling. I know that we often think that women have the hold on that parent thing, and that men as fathers, we don't have it the same as you do. And I don't know what the real answer is to that, but I know that both my son's mother and me just loved him like there was nothing else in the whole world, you know. And I can remember those early years, just taking jobs that allowed me to be home, and it was just so important to me. That's why when I read the description of our next book called Being There, I just thought, gosh, even though I'm not a mother, I get this. I really get this. Being There, why prioritizing motherhood in the first 3 years matters. Erica Komisar is on the phone. She's the author of that book. She's a psychoanalyst, a parent guidance expert, a clinical social worker. She's a designer of parenting education seminars, the psychological consultant to Garden House Preschool in Manhattan, and one of my favorite places, by the way, Manhattan. She treats adults and adolescents who suffer from depression, anxiety, and a variety of eating disorders. So I got one of them. Erica Komisar. Good morning, Erica. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me on.
You're welcome. Are you in Manhattan right now?
I am.
You sound like a Long Island girl. Are you from Long Island?
No, not originally. From Connecticut originally.
Connecticut. Okay. Oh, wow. Goodness.
Yes.
Well, thank you for being on the air with us. Yeah, as a parent, I'm not a mother, obviously. So some people have called me that. But being a parent was oh my gosh. If I die and get a chance to thank God for anything, it's going to be that. Thank you for allowing me to be a parent. My son is 30 now, so you're kind of asking me to, and Robin too. Robin's got 2 children. Hers are almost
38 and 40.
Wow,
this year they'll turn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, is there a difference? Maybe we can start there. I mean, is there a difference between the father and the mother as far as the importance to the children regarding the need to be there?
So I'm glad you asked that, because fathers are important too. I mean, I love the fact that fathers are more involved in their children's lives than ever before. But there is a difference between mothers and fathers. They're not exactly interchangeable. The research shows that mothers and fathers both produce something called oxytocin when they nurture, and it's a neurotransmitter in the brain. Sometimes it's called the love hormone. But in terms of its influence on women, it makes women more empathic, sensitive nurturers, and it makes men more playfully stimulating, tickle more, throw the baby up in the air more. And the idea is that if we recognize that men and women aren't exactly the same in terms of nurturing, then we can teach fathers who stay home with their children as primary caregivers to be more like mothers.
Really? Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, I did a lot of that tickling thing too. Yeah. I didn't know there was a hormone causing that to happen. We're such a.
I thought it was love.
We are definitely influenced by our chemistry, aren't we? I guess that's the way we're made. We are. So you wrote the book Being There. Was there a trend for mothers not being home that made you think we should write a book like that? That you should write a book like this?
So I was really disturbed. I felt that society was devaluing mothering and that we were failing our children. And I saw it in my parent guidance practice, this epidemic level of emotionally troubled children with symptoms, early diagnoses, and being medicated younger and younger for things like ADHD, aggression, behavioral problems, social disorders. And this trend was an increasing trend. And I connected it to the absence of the mothers in my practice and then looked at the research, the attachment research, the neuroscience, the epigenetics, and it all led in the same direction as my premise.
Yeah.
And you really bring that out from a different angle. I mean, you said that in the streets of New York, you would see mothers pushing their babies in strollers or carriages. The moms are talking on the cell phone. They're not paying attention to the baby. And the baby realizes that, hey, this person is my mom and she's not paying attention to me, and that baby could grow up with very bad emotions happening to them.
Well, that's the idea. So whether you're, the book really isn't about stay-at-home moms versus working moms, because the book is really about prioritizing children, whether you're a stay-at-home mom or a working mom. But the idea is that we really aren't that interested in our children as we think we are. And the way that children develop both the right brain and their sense of self and self-esteem is to feel that their parents are really interested in them and prioritize them over everything else. And that's how a child develops a sense of self-esteem. So you're right, and it's not just in New York, I wish it was just in New York, but it's really all over the country. The idea that technology is replacing relationships and connection is just one piece of it. But we really aren't as interested, as a society, we're much more interested in professional achievement, material success, than we are in relationships, deep and meaningful connections. And that's really now, we're now seeing that in our children's sort of deteriorating mental health.
Does the mother-daughter relationship differ from the mother-son relationship?
It does. I don't like to make generalizations, but the most current research says that little boys are more sensitive. Their brains are actually more sensitive to absence and adversity overall than little girls. Every child is an individual, but the research now shows that because of this sensitivity that little boys have, there's more autism, more aggression in little boys, more behavioral difficulties in nursery schools and daycare centers and afterwards, because of this brain sensitivity. So there is a difference between a relationship with a son and a daughter.
You mentioned autism, so the question that stems from the mention of it is this: I know autism is not caused. Well, I don't know this. Maybe I should ask it first, but let me assume it and then ask my question. So I'm assuming that autism is not caused by any lack of affection or attention, but does it help it if there's more attention? In other words, does an autistic child benefit from the extra attention?
You got that exactly right. Autism is not caused by lack of attention. There is some research. Again, this is not my research. I've spent the last 13 years looking at other people's research and putting it together in a form that anyone can understand in this book. But the research that they're doing now is that autism happens in utero, and it happens potentially because of stress in utero. And so this is what the research is about now. But in fact, other research shows, really interesting research, that many children are born with a genetic sensitivity towards depression and anxiety. And a mother's sensitive nurturing can neutralize not only the appearance of those disorders, but can also neutralize some of the symptoms, can soften some of the symptoms. So you're absolutely right that if you have an autistic child, being there is even more critical. If you have a sensitive child, being there is even more critical.
Well, the babies are in the mother's womb for like 40 weeks, I was told, when I was pregnant with my two. And then when the baby arrives, so everybody can hold the baby and give them love and everything, that once you start putting the baby in the crib and then you hear the baby crying, and if you don't come right away, sometimes the baby has emotional stress that way also.
So when mothers and babies are separated in the first 3 years, it causes stress to both the baby and the mother. And we know this because there is an increased cortisol level in the baby's blood and in the mother's blood. And they can do this through salivary tests. And so when we separate mothers prematurely, when we don't have maternity leave policies that really allow mothers and babies to be together, we're actually causing stress to both babies and mothers. So the idea is that, we want mothers and babies to be together as much as possible in those first 3 years.
And that's where the dad comes in also, because the dad's love. I mean, I was born in 1954, and my dad was there all the time. The dad of my 2 children, he was there, for them. I mean, he picked them up and everything and changed their diapers. And it's just, there is a bond with the mom, but if the babies have somebody else that they have love that's being shown from, that should be a good developmental quality for the baby as well, right?
So the first thing I do when I see parents in my parent guidance practice, so if I see a father who's raising children as the primary caregiver, I teach him how to be more like a sensitive, empathic mother. If I have 2 gay men who come in with raising children, I'll ask them, which one of you is going to be the mother? So, you could say mother is a person, mother is a role, and I think that some of these things can be taught to fathers.
I'm wondering how many mothers read the book and get what you're saying and feel a burden off of their shoulders. Maybe their natural instincts were saying, "Oh gosh, I really should be home with the kids," and maybe the book says, "Oh my gosh, this is my license. This is what I've felt all along." Have you had that kind of feedback yet?
I have had so much positive feedback about this book in the last 2 days. From all over the country, women are writing me and calling me saying, thank you for reassuring me and telling me I've been doing a good job, that nobody recognizes how hard it is to be a mother, right, and how important it is to be a mother. So yes, the feedback is overwhelming to me.
Yeah, sometimes society says one thing, but your instinct tells you another, but you listen to society. And sometimes it takes a wake-up call, like a book like this. I really love what you're saying right here. The book is called Being There, Why Prioritizing Motherhood in the First 3 Years Matters. Our guest is the author of the book, Erica Komisar, and we have to take a little break, Erica, but we will be right back. If you have any questions for Erica, you're invited to call. The number is 622-9622. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Matt Wilkerson from Verizon. You work all day, right? So why would you want to spend your night out shopping for that new phone? Well, Marion County, let me and Verizon help you out. I can deliver to your home or office, saving you precious time. Phone, tablets, internet, home phones, even accessories. Whatever you need, we will deliver free of charge. Call me at the store, 352-528-0020. That's 528-0020.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accidents. Partly sunny skies on this Thursday. It'll become breezy in the afternoon. High 77 along the coast, 82 inland. And mainly clear Thursday night. Lows in the mid and upper 50s in a few inland spots. About 67 along the coast. For Good Friday, partly sunny, breezy in the afternoon. High 79 on the coast, 84 inland. For Saturday, a breezy day with sun and some clouds. High 80 along the coast, 85 inland. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Are you in need of custom screen printing, embroidery, or promotional items? Then look no further and come visit the brand new Legacy Team Sales. LTS is conveniently located off 17th Street next to Armstrong Homes in beautiful Ocala. We offer the best prices and highest quality products for your company, team, school, or nonprofit. Whether looking for screen printed shirts, embroidered polos, or travel team uniforms, you'll be sure to find it at Legacy Team Sales. Come visit our new 27,000 square foot facility. Our friendly and knowledgeable sales staff will assist you in every part of your custom purchase. LTS carries the hottest brands in the industry like Under Armour, Russell, Mizuno, Asics, Badger Sports, Gildan, Pacific, Ogio, and many more. At LTS, screen printing embroidery is done in-house and we guarantee customer satisfaction. Stop by, give us a call, or check us out on the web at shoplts.com. Remember the name, LTS.
There are only a few things in life that you can be certain will always be around: death, taxes, the pursuit of happiness, and computers. As they continue to advance at an epic pace, the one absolute certainty about them is that they'll break. It's not an if, it's a when. And when it happens, bring it to the only company in Ocala that's certified in Apple and Microsoft, Ocala Mac and PC Repair. They even offer on-site computer repair service, so they come to you. And if you do drop it off, you can check your repair status online. Ocala Mac and PC Repair is a family-owned and operated company that can do everything from mobile repair to wireless networks, fixing viruses, data recovery, even building and installing new systems. Visit online at ocalamacpc.com. In person, 1713 East Silver Springs Boulevard, or give them a call, 352-566-8324. That's 352-566-8324. Ocala Mac and PC Repair.
20 minutes after 10 o'clock, 73 degrees, temperatures climbing to 81 today. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day, and that forecast I just told you, copy and paste it and put it on tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's a nice weekend up ahead. Right now on the phone, Erica Komisar, she's on the phone. She's up in New York. She's a psychoanalyst, a parent guidance expert. Her credentials go on and on and on. Her book is called Being There, Why Prioritizing Motherhood in the First 3 Years Matters. Erica, I was just thinking during the break that this weekend, Easter, Passover, a lot of people get together this weekend, and gosh, family is so important, and it's so nice that what you're saying is that it should be important 365 days a year, and not just for holidays and birthdays and things like that.
Yes, and I'm hoping maybe at this holiday time that the book came out now and right before Mother's Day, that it opens up a dialogue in society about how important this period of development is and how important mothers are.
And you talk about postpartum depression in your book. I was fortunate. I never had it for both of my children, but I've seen some moms that seem to be going off the deep end. How do you talk to them that are experiencing the postpartum depression?
So the problem really is that we're not diagnosing postpartum depression early enough, and we're not diagnosing it enough. The signs of postpartum depression on an extreme level we see, but society, pediatricians, nurse practitioners, even obstetricians have to be able to see the symptoms and the signs early enough. And some of those are resentment or fear or boredom. So when I hear a mother say, I'm bored being with my newborn, that's a sign for me of postpartum depression. And when we don't diagnose postpartum depression, we can't help mothers to be more available to their children. We can't help them to bond and attach with their children. So this is a big problem in society.
Is there a divide between? But I don't know the best way to say this. Just ask it the way I'm thinking it. Is there a divide between the well-to-do, the wealthy, and the working class as far as being able to prioritize motherhood?
So that's a really interesting question. There's research out of Columbia University that shows that very poor families and very wealthy families, we're seeing signs of the same forms and intensity of mental disturbances in children.
Really?
Whereas the families in the middle do better. So what we say is that neglect on either end of the spectrum causes a lot of these disorders that we're seeing. Absence, because in very poor families, parents have to work and have to be away from their children, and also are often depressed because poverty causes depression, and depression can cause these mental disorders in children. On the opposite end, very affluent families who have many choices often aren't making the best, most educated choices and are away from their children a great deal for other reasons. And so the families that seem to do the best are the ones in the middle, socioeconomically, because those are the ones who, when they do have to work, they come home, and at 5 o'clock they're with their children, they eat dinner with their children, they go to their children's baseball games, they talk over the table. So I don't know if that answers your question, but that's really interesting.
No,
research.
you're definitely answering it, but you gave me another question, actually. I was wondering about...
Sure.
I was wondering about the surrogate, and I don't mean somebody you pay, but like grandma. For the children's sake, will the children be healthier if, for example, let's say mom has to go work and there's no choice, but grandma can be with the kids. She's going to be just as loving as mom, I would think.
Dad.
I would think. Yeah. I mean, can a surrogate that's that close to the children and capable of really truly loving them, and not just a paid babysitter, would that solve some of the problems as far as the children are concerned?
So that's another great question. You know, in my field, we say kinship bonds are the best because a grandmother or an aunt or your sister is going to have a more similar investment, or the father is going to have a more similar investment in that child as the mother does. So yes, we always prefer family, and in fact, in the past, we always had family around us.
Yeah.
We lived in communities where our mothers and our grandmothers and our aunts, they all lived in the same village, if not in the same house, and supported one another. So this isolation, to go back to a previous question, is also causing a great deal of postpartum depression. And it's very unnatural to be isolated when we raise children.
I've seen a few couples divorce that have children, and it's usually the woman that wants the divorce and not the man. And then she'll say, well, the children will adjust, matter of fact like that. I don't agree with that kind of blanket statement. Do you?
So we're seeing now with this epidemic of mental illness in children that children are not adjusting. Yes, there are always children that will adjust. I used the line in the book that in a shipwreck there are always survivors, and you're always going to see a handful of people who survive no matter what. But most of the children that I'm seeing are not adapting, and so yes, the answer is that children aren't fine.
Going back to you referenced autistic children. Any child that has special needs is often also demanding more time, more attention. Does that affect the other children in any way?
Well, think of your time as a limited resource and your energy to nurture as a limited resource. The more you're there, the more you have to give in terms of time, in terms of energy, in terms of emotional energy. And so if you have a disabled child, then that child's going to take a lot of your emotional energy and time. And so for instance, if you have to work a lot and you have a disabled child, then when you come home, naturally you're going to have to spend more time with that child, and then the other children will miss out. And so, again, more is more. The more you can be there, the more you can cut the pie in pieces so everybody gets enough of you.
The one thing I remember when my son was younger is sometimes I'd be exhausted and I would want to spend time and play, and I would use like a video, let's say, what was one that comes to mind? The Goofy movie.
Yeah.
I remember watching the Goofy movie a few times. Yeah. So we were together, but we were kind of just like lying on the carpet, looking at this cartoon. I don't know if that's I'm guessing hanging out is hanging out, but if you were outside throwing a ball, would that be better than sitting inside watching a movie, or does it not really matter?
So, people have a misconception about television and watching movies. If you put your children in front of television and leave them there, it's a passive activity. If you're with your children, hugging them, cuddling them, talking to them, interacting with them around what you're watching, then it's an activity together.
Oh, good.
So I'm very careful not to demonize all media.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm talking over you. I don't mean to do that, but I'm just agreeing. That was me.
Ahead.
That was me. And we had popcorn, and we had we had the dog too, by the way.
But if you, for instance, if you as a father come home and or a mother come home and zone out in front of the TV, and your child is sitting next to you, that's more like parallel play, and so that's not really interactive. But if you're interacting and watching the Goofy movie and talking and cuddling and touching them and looking at them, that's interaction.
You also have questions and thoughts to ponder in your book about what really is the best road for parenting. If you're considering hiring a nanny, what questions should you ask? Things like that. That's pretty helpful, I think, and it's insightful.
So in choosing a caregiver who's not a family member, you always want to focus on finding someone who's a sensitive, empathic nurturer, someone who's really loving and nurturing for the first 3 years over somebody who's very strict or very confident. In modern society, we focus a lot on people who can clean the house and keep order and make play dates, but in fact, that's the least important part of nurturing in the first 3 years. The most important thing is to find a very loving, sensitive, empathic nurturer who is going to prioritize your child over organizing your house.
The good news at my age, I'm 60 and 62. I'm sorry, Rob. I shortchanged. But I look at the young women in my family, my son's wife, my nephew's wives, and they're all. I mean, they're fitting the bill. They're doing what you're describing. So I want to give the book away. If you would like the copy that was sent to me, please call me and I'll leave it here for you. Erica, before we say goodbye, do you have a website for the book?
I do. It's www.komisar.com. It's also available in bookstores now and also online.
And let me give this one a good morning. You've got the book. Who's this?
This is Connie Hudson. Hi.
Hello, Connie. You've got the book. I'll leave it here. It'll be waiting for you, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Connie. All right, and Erica Komisar, thank you so much for being on the air with us. Again, the book is called Being There. I think you're going to solve a lot of problems, maybe even some arguments with this one. Thank you, Erica.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right. We'll be right back.
Knowledge of last week's chemical attack in Syria. He also acknowledged that U.S.-Russia relations may be at an all-time low.
Fox's John Decker, the president, just tweeting that things will work out fine with Russia. Florida is still in a state of emergency because of wildfires. Tom Lennon's in Pasco County, north of Tampa.
From my driveway, you could see the flames and everything jumping.
Some 100 wildfires reported across Florida. Lawyers for Bill Cosby have lost a bid to question Cosby's accuser before his sexual assault trial, saying she should have been forced to testify at a preliminary hearing. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Sure, some surprises are cool. Parties. Gifts.
How did you know? I love it.
But at this point in life, your goal is to cut down on surprises. Between house, spouse, and job, you want to keep it simple. That's where Humana Dental comes in. Humana keeps it simple with plans starting at $17 a month. And anyone qualifies, regardless of age or pre-existing conditions. Humana. Simple? Yes. Surprises? No. Enroll today. Call 1-855-832-8331 for your free guide. Or go to signupforhumanadental.com. Again, plans start at just $17 a month and cover 2 cleanings and 2 checkups per year. Call 1-855-832-8331.
Insured by Humana Dental Insurance Company, Humana Insurance Company, The Dental Concern, Inc., Humana Insurance Company of New York, and Humana Health Benefit Plan of Louisiana, Inc. Waiting periods, limitations, and exclusions apply. Preventive Plus plans not available in Alaska, Hawaii, Oregon, Vermont, and Washington. Rates vary by state and are subject to change.
Pay your taxes, eat your vegetables, watch your weight, mow the lawn, clean the house. We all have stuff we don't want to do. Isn't it about time you did something you wanted to do? Like getting your pilot's license? At Ocala Aviation, they make it fun and easy, and you can start by taking one of their Discovery flights. For only $99, you get to go up in the airplane with an FAA-certified flight instructor and actually fly the plane yourself. It's a perfect way to see if flying is for you. And once you get that ultimate feeling of freedom, Ocala Aviation can train you to get your pilot's license. Ocala Aviation also offers commercial flight training for those looking to make a career change and enter the world of commercial aviation. Ocala Aviation is conveniently located at the Ocala International Airport. So if you're ready to start your adventure, stop by or give them a call today. 861-7484. That's 861-7484. You'll be glad you did. I know I am. Ocala Aviation. Call today. 861-7484.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Keep up with what's going on in the downtown area with Ocala Downtown Newspaper. Delivering thousands of newspapers to businesses in the downtown area, Ocala Downtown is there to keep you informed. They even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about it. It's simple. For more info, just call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223, and pick up your copy of the Downtown Ocala newspaper today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Veterans are the foundation upon which our freedom is built. Listen to The Source, WOCA, each Thursday at 9 a.m. to Veterans News with Hank Whittier from Vets Helping Vets. You'll hear tributes, information on veterans issues, and stories that will make you laugh, cry, and feel proud. Veterans News always focuses on the military, past and present, and on our first responders. Veterans News is brought to you each week by Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery, keeping you blooming since 1952. Robin, how do you like my design?
You're designing a box?
That's not a box. It's a doghouse.
Rough draft for your rough? Sounds like you need personal service.
I do?
Yes, to print the blueprints. See Mark at the Personal Service Center. He can print blueprints, notarize permit applications, print and mail out invoices, and even provide great-looking business cards.
Personal Service Center. That's the one on the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street, right?
Just look for the yellow signs. Your pedigree palace will be a reality in no time.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.